then he would have gotten his rich wife, which is, that's just what happens in Hollywood careers. You have your poor wife, and then you get famous, and you realize, like, I could get someone hotter, so you get someone hotter. You live your rest of your life kind of regretting that you ever left your first wife as you just go through whore after whore.
I think it was very obviously implied that he wouldn't have stayed with her if the world had not ended.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. I don't know if they thought that through about that particular part of it. They might.
No, because I think Adam McKay was just like, whatever. I know how it's going to end. And they're like, how's it going to end? Oh, in like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Well, as you name drop Adam McKay, something I've noticed about his movies is, I guess you guys just hated it off the bat. Kat hasn't said much yet.
I don't know why you think I just hate it. I was hopeful for it the entire time. I was hoping
you weren't.
It would, like,
You
turn
said,
around.
I'm pretty sure when I first told you that this was the movie, your first statement was, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm going to say that for anything. If you put on The Irishman, I'm going to say, this is going to suck.
Either way, Katz, what did you think of Don't Look Up? Adam McKay's Don't Look Up.
It was alright.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't hate it as much as Brant, but I also was incredibly annoyed throughout a lot of it, because it was like, me and Brant were kind of talking about this before the call. Also, we're live.
I figured we were live. I was kind of operating on the premise.
Just in case anybody was under this.
Just in case we're about to drop an N-bomb there. Now we know it's safe.
I could see Brant, like, he was
Listen!
Yeah, he was licking his
lips
lips.
were-
Black
yeah,
guy,
he was
so I
ready
like
to
call
go.
him N-word Jim.
No,
He was a real fun one.
the movie, like, consistently, like, it managed to, like, kind of make good points, but come off stupid, tone deaf, and smug, and just clumsy all around. And
How
just
so? Like, what was
arrogant.
what was an example of a good point and a poor execution thereof?
Like, okay, so I guess the way that they like to spin the people's reaction to this comet and what exactly would happen, coming about. It's like they completely miss the fact that there are people who are ready and dedicated and all about the fact that that the world might end, and they completely gloss over the people who are actually prepared in these scenarios, and likely the people are going to be the most prepared and probably going to take charge in moments of chaos and stuff like that. And they gloss over what would actually be the reality of the situation and go for this kind of cartoonish thing that ultimately, like, boils down to Adam McKay is a Redditor and he wants to dunk on Republicans, and the Republicans think that the climate change, I guess in this, I was actually thinking COVID the whole time, but those Republicans think that the COVID and the climate change aren't real, and how dumb are they? And it's like, okay, dude, like, I don't know, there's more to it than that.
Everything on my mind. You
Yeah.
did it.
That's what I think.
Literally, that was like the number one problem with it. It's such a condescending Reddit take on everything. Don't look up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
you.
no, see, that was I really think that the metaphor could have been a lot better told if, like, one side wasn't obviously, like, the bad guy,
Yeah.
And also just, like, the fact that, like, Meryl Streep was obviously Trump. Like, I allowed myself to not make that obvious connection the first time I watched it, but the second time I watched it, I couldn't ignore it.
They have the hats. Like, they have the Don't Look
Yeah,
Up
they
hats
have
are
the
literally
hats.
the hats. Yeah.
The
So.
I
Jonah
was just
Hill
kind of,
thing
like,
wind up
suspending
to-
disbelief to pretend it wasn't Trump, because, like, a Trump allegory is just kind of boring. And also, like, I don't know, I feel like it kind of undercuts the idea that, like, just the powerful people in general and the system we have set up would stop us from being able to face a threat like that if the example of the most powerful person you use is an outlier rather than an example of how the system should normally work, which would be just as much of a face fuck.
Why? What was up with the whole Oedipus thing with Meryl Streep? With Jonah
I think that's
that
also
was
a Trump
legitimately
thing.
just an Ivanka joke.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
an Ivanka
legitimately
Trump
just an
thing,
Ivanka
because she
joke.
is supposed to be Trump, so that would make sense,
But I thought he wanted to fuck her, not the other way around.
They
Or does
switched it
Ivanka-
up a little bit. They were
Oh,
just-
'cause
it
they're
was a
like-
spin.
'cause they-
It was their spin.
anti-plagiarism. They're like, wouldn't it be weird if Ivanka wanted to fuck Trump instead? They're like, no, stop. This is gross.
And Jonah Hill, who's apparently like the funniest person in the movie, is like he just plays. I don't know. He just plays Jonah Hill. It's Jonah Hill from Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street. It's like, okay, I don't know. That wasn't honestly that. Actually, the funniest thing in the film, I think, was it and they wore it. I think they did it one too many times at least. But I liked the government guy, whatever, the general that was charging people for snacks. Like, that was actually a pretty decent joke. But then I don't know. I like it.
That's probably the best part of this whole movie, and it's not explained at all.
It was sociopathic.
Jokes.
It was.
Why not? Like,
I don't think it needs explanation because government workers are sociopaths, and they're all psychotic people that would probably exert power.
Cocksuckers.
Yeah, they probably would fucking do that. I bet that happened to somebody, and like somebody told Adam McKay that, and he was like, "Whoa, man, that's deep."
I like the joke where it was like the Bash CEOs presented his whole thing, and like the girl's like, "Can I say something?" He's just no.
Did you notice that the Bash CEO was the same guy from Waiting for the Barbarians?
That would, I did.
Mark Rylance.
I think my eyes were glazed over that entire movie. To be honest, I already forgot about literally everything in it.
Yeah, another movie that wasn't really all that well.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I saw him and like my lizard brain just flare up and said like, Remember the unfun times with him?
Yeah,
he's
I thought it was at least
he was good. I really liked him as the Steve Jobs, like whatever he was kind of an amalgamation of like billionaires, it seemed like, but like his specific weird sociopath
and like all of his like weird tics and how he talked to people and stuff.
Yeah, he was good.
Shoot off the children and he would dance at the puppy and say, "That rooster is a little bit of a threatening bird."
Yeah, and then he's got like the giant mining robot. He's like, "Kronos, it's your dad." And he's like, "Dad, got that." It was. I liked him. He was easily the best written thing in the whole movie.
And as far as the metaphor goes, that's the best part of it that stands up, is that just like, even if the government somehow did fucking bumble its way into a way to solve this problem, if the billionaires found a way to make money off of it, then it wouldn't work out anyway.
I also thought that was stupid as hell. Like, I can understand the American one, but then like once like they got cut out of the deal, like Russia and those guys, they would have already been working on contingency plans. Like, there are other space programs outside of America, and it's like, Russia's blew up, it's over. And it's like, what about China? They have a launch station. Australia has a launch station. Africa has a launch station. It's like
they act like
everyone else has like a ton of
the
nukes.
Second that like they confirmed the asteroid, China probably would have built a dome around China, like immediately.
Yeah. If anyone was gonna be like, no, we're gonna let that hit and like take the
it's like the end
was sweet enough, and then like when they get released from, so like everyone's like they have a nice family dinner, they're all talking, they're just kind of like trying to forget about the fact that they're all gonna die in like a minute.
And DiCaprio's like, we really did have everything, didn't we?
And then like, they're all gone, and you see like the town floating in space, and like the world's fractured, and this big penis ship comes floating through. Because Meryl Streep was like, hey, there's like 2,000 of us could be in cryopods. Jake, come on, bring your wife or whoever. We're getting out of this bitch. They get out of this bitch. And it's like, well, what did it say? Like 20,000 years later, they drop in like some Goldilocks planet. And I like the joke there because it was like a lot of what the Bash guy did was like talk about statistics. And like one of the things he said to Leo was like 95.6% accuracy. You're going to die alone by yourself. And then he didn't. But then, like, he drops, he's like, 58% success. That's better that was better than we thought it would be. Which means, like, the whole time his projections are always fucked.
But then there's the thing,
and then they all get eaten.
And then the president gets eaten by the imaginary creature, the Bronto.
Yeah, that was kind of stupid, honestly.
That was kind of stupid.
I was fine with it.
And I think the most interesting thing that they kind of showed in that scene, but they didn't really like focus on, was just the fact that yeah, exactly. We sent away these people to live for us and be the last of humankind, but I don't know if there was a single non-barren vagina in that place, you know?
We didn't send them. That was just all the richest, the best stock that they could afford to be on there.
The barren,
which
like,
goes
the
to show
it's like,
vaginas
aren't a truck, they're pulled up in a truck behind them, and they're not going to let them out immediately.
Oh yeah.
Like they're all hanging up right now.
Blue shipping containers full of mail order brides pulling behind them, thawing out in the back.
Yeah, no, there was. Yeah. Do you guys think it was a good metaphor for climate change?
No.
Why not? What do you think would have made that work better?
Well, climate change is climate change isn't a meteor coming towards Earth.
Yeah.
It's like
it's almost like this whole movie was just like porn for the liberals to have that little moment where the fucking Trump supporter looks up at the meteors like, Trump likes me. That's why this movie was just
I bet a lot of the pitch was Adam McKay like, could you guys imagine if like at a Trump rally they all finally like got it and saw how stupid they were? Like they looked up and saw the meteor and they was like, oh, that'd be a great movie.
Which would totally not happen, by the way. That's like, I hate it when like movies write a character's reactions just for their own ends, because there might be a couple of people that react that way, but I feel like most people would just look at it and be like, yeah, fucking turning on light shows, just fucking make me look stupid.
They could have played that different, like, oh, it's a projection or something. It's like, it's Chinese communists trying to divide the country.
Yeah.
No, it's like, no, just don't look up. And it's like, what?
Yeah, no, it was so simple. It was just simplistic, like, I don't know. It was kind of insulting, honestly. And
I might have liked this movie more if I didn't just play a much better, like, apocalypse scenario game, Horizon Zero Dawn. Which was just way better as like a full like extinction, like everyone's gone, this is probably what's going to happen. And it was, you know why? Because it had robots, not a stupid fucking meteor that you had to almost wait in real time for to get here. All those stupid compilations, all those weird cuts and interviews that they did to fill time for 2 hours and 20 minutes were unnecessary.
Oh, you didn't like Ariana Grande?
I hated all of it.
Another
Ariana Grande part was really pointless.
Yeah, another pointless like cameo by like a big stupid celebrity in an Adam McKay movie.
Honestly, I think that's some of the biggest, like, maybe that's something that's kind of wrong with, like, because this was a good enough metaphor. Like, you could have done some interesting stuff with it. It's a cool premise for a movie, and you can make it fit into your metaphor or whatever. But there's something about the way that Adam McKay does these metaphors where it just feels like it's definitely coming from, like, the most corporate Democrat feeling
it's so self-related. It's just like all these Hollywood celebrity types talking about climate change. It's sucking their own dick the whole time.
Well, and also like it's missing. I feel like it's not really like addressing the actual issue. Like it's kind of just like doing the classic thing of just like missing the point and
the government could solve this at any time. They just don't want to.
Well, it's like his movie Vice. Like watching Vice was another movie that was just endlessly obnoxious because you're watching it and you're going, like.
Man, this guy sure has an opinion.
Yeah, like fuck Dick. Well, no, you're just like fuck Dick Cheney. Obviously, like Dick Cheney is a terrible person, but it wasn't all him. Why? Like obviously, it wasn't all him.
Yeah, you don't need to like villainize him that much. He's already a villain.
No,
like
I
you don't need to
make
the government.
I just don't. I want to.
I haven't
like,
seen Vice. Is it as bad as that one scene in Oliver Stone's W? Where Dick Cheney stands in front of everybody and is like, sure, we could attack them for terrorism, but there's all this oil.
Yeah. I mean, not that bad. It's not that bad, but it's like
I love that scene.
It's not hammy. It's not that hammy, and it comes off like it's kind of more subtle and it's like propaganda, but it's still propaganda because it's like I don't know. It's the stupid like I guess just. It's the libtard thing of just like, oh, that Dick Cheney and that George Bush shouldn't have done all that Iraq stuff. Republicans are the
only bad guys. Did you know that? Republicans are the only ones.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like really? Yeah, that's okay. I guess so.
Yeah, it's like why do you need to like go this far to show the government's incompetent? You don't have to make up scenarios like this, TBH. Also, it's like what a great showing of like what this kind of worldview is of someone who thinks like this and how the world would actually work. Like that realistically, like if Adam McKay ran the world, it would just self-destruct like that within months. Yeah, like if the same time frame.
Well,
nothing
yeah.
made fucking sense.
Also, it was just stupid. Like they should have. All they had to do, they didn't need to go on a big television show or anything like that. All they had to do was leak this information to 4chan. That's all that needed to happen.
Yeah,
and then
you go to the memers first. The memers will be on your side from the beginning. That's how Trump won.
That's all that needed to happen, and then this thing would have become a gigantic viral marketing campaign within the first 2 weeks.
Talk to anyone else. Like, we got burned by journalists, and they're like, well, let's talk to more journalists. We got burned by journalists again. Let's try to talk to some more journalists.
Yeah, no.
I mean, COVID didn't come out from the news. COVID actually largely broke on social media. So, sorry. Yeah. Go on.
It has the perspective of a guy who is like a famous person, a person who knows all the famous people, who actually thinks that legacy media is still a thing that would influence humans in any minor way.
Just talk about Adam McKay.
Yeah. Like this movie just has the perspective. It's old. It feels like how it would have gone 10 years ago,
Yeah, this movie would have been huge like 10 years ago. Cut down like 30 minutes and put it 10 years out. This would have been the biggest movie. This would have been monumental.
It set
Apparently
some kind of record on Netflix. Yeah, it set like the third most watched movie on Netflix within the first month or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. It wasn't like super impressive, but it did well, I suppose.
Yeah.
It wasn't super impressive from our perspective. If we saw the statistics of how many motherfuckers were actually watching it, it's probably incredible.
How many will watch it? How many just need 2 hours of like noise back so they can, get some fucking freak on? You feel me?
Yeah.
A lot of people have told me they watched this. So
a lot of people have watched this movie. This has been a very well.
Did a lot of people tell you they liked it?
Yeah. My dad liked it. I guess.
A lot of idiots.
I kind of liked it. I just had problems with it.
Yeah, I just straight up don't like it. I won't watch it again.
I thought it was a fun plot.
Watch it again.
I thought,
the second time, don't watch it. If you didn't like it the first time, definitely don't watch it the second time.
But by the third time, then it gets funny.
Yeah, no, I don't think it would. I don't think anything would get more funny on the third time. I think everything's exactly as funny as it can possibly be on the first time.
No, there's a certain point. I know this. There's like people that like do things like watch Sky High for 24 hours straight, or like Paul.
Well, this isn't Sky High.
No, this is Don't Look Up. And if I had to watch this for 24 hours, it might be funny eventually. But it is. It's just. Yeah, sure. It's liberal propaganda in the dumbest way.
Well,
it's
wish, like DiCaprio was just like based. You ever wish?
Wish he
based on what?
I don't know. Just like you ever wish that like the biggest movie stars like just were slightly interesting, like Denzel. Denzel Washington seems to be a good motherfucker.
Oh, are you saying Leonardo DiCaprio is overrated?
They're all like Roman
I'm not even saying overrated. I mean, he's not like the most amazing actor. He's a very good actor, and he's a great fucking movie star.
His chimp out in this movie where he's like, it's in the sky.
Oh, right,
that scene where he's screaming into the cameras. That was a little.
It's the same thing he always does when he like needs to get a performance. He just fucking yells. That's all he ever does to get like a big emotion across. Like, I'll just yell.
I did notice a lot of the comedy in this movie was just people being loud or awkward. And that's also feels very lazy to me.
Jonah
fucking
Jonah Hill.
The whole time I despised him. Every time the camera flipped, he was like, why? Anyone else that can emote? Because he's just Jonah Hill now. Like,
do you think that we as a society like need a skinny Jonah Hill? Do you think that that's like something that's helping us at all?
Past the need for a Jonah Hill, honestly.
For Jonah Hill at all? You don't want to regress back to the days when we had a skinny or a fat Jonah Hill that at least like kept us united as a people?
I think we have a society have progressed past the need for like hills, like in general. I feel like we need to start leveling the playing field.
I think we just need more Chris Farleys. We need bright stars that burn out quick. We need big funny guys, little coats who die from like massive drug overdoses.
Big guy? Are you saying like millions of Chris Farleys?
We just need Jonah Hill would have been better if he burned out. If he died from an OD, like Jim Belushi.
Well, no,
we need to get Seth Rogen
clone. that needs to be pumping out Chris Farley's like nonstop.
As we pump him full of cocaine, he pumps
Literally
out
put
the
GoPros
funnies.
on him.
As a nation, we don't function as well if we don't have a really fat, funny guy who falls over a lot.
It's true.
Like, if you go back into the early 90s, we were a thriving economy, and that was directly because of Chris Farley. We
And
lose
even
him, and we
before
start
that,
going
you had
down the
Curly
tube.
from the
It's
Three
true.
Stooges.
And then
We
John
had Jackie
Belushi.
Gleason in the 50s, and that the economy was roaring.
Who do we have right now? Who do we have
Who's
right now?
our
that's
fat
big and
guy?
fat?
Fucking, it's Corbin, and that's not enough.
Who?
And he's British.
Yeah, he used
Who?
to be able to do John
Jeremy
Goodman.
Corbyn, the guy who sings
Oh.
in cars.
Oh no! What about King of Queens?
James Corden, that's his name.
What
James
about
Corden.
what about King of Queens guy?
Kevin
No,
James
he's
is
not
actually
bad
good.
enough.
He
Kevin
just
James.
doesn't have anywhere near the power as like a John Belushi or
Yeah.
Jackie Gleason
No,
or
he
Chris
doesn't.
Farley.
But he's
Oh,
like the
yeah.
closest we probably have, honestly. at
That's
the
the
moment.
problem. Like they're all amalgamated. Like where they're all scattered. They're all part of like the same structure, but like they've split on entry. And so
think
like
Tim
now we have
Dillon's
the
the
lost
guy we
fat
need.
man.
But the society, the people in charge don't want us to have him.
Don't
But
want
Tim
Tim
Dillon is
Dillon.
the guy we need.
Tim
He's
Dillon
alright.
could be a little fatter. See, that's what I'm saying. Like Chris
He's pretty
Farley was a
fat,
big
isn't he?
man, you know. Belushi
He's
was a
pretty
big.
chunky.
Tim Dillon's
he's
not
okay.
very tall, is he? He seems like a small guy.
It's hard to say. I only ever see him sitting on chairs.
Oh, okay.
He's so fat.
He's so fat.
I've never seen
That's
Joey
that's
Coco
my impression
Diaz.
of Tim Dillon. Just like
Joey
Coco
Diaz is
Diaz.
too old.
He's
too
the
old.
best we have right now. He's like he's about to go.
Who?
It is a bummer that
You could say Bert Kreischer at that point, you know, but
you know what? No,
I don't have
'cause Coco
anything
Diaz
against
he's
I like-
still out there. He's still banging whores and doing coke. So
Well,
I'll say Joey
who
Coco
should-
Diaz is the star guy.
we could always just have somebody gain a lot of weight. I mean, who?
I think I think we just gotta feed Joe Rogan. I think
Oh,
that's
Who's the guy from Parks and Rec?
Joe Rogan's too short.
Who's Starman? Who's Star guy from the Marvel
Chris
thing?
Pratt.
Yeah, let's get Chris Pratt fat.
There
gotta
you
feed
go.
back.
A fat Pratt might
A
heal
fat
this
Pratt will
nation.
unite the states back.
Yes.
See, that's what it was.
A
Like,
fat Pratt
you
will
know,
bring
back
it back.
in 2008 when Obama united
There you
us,
go.
back in Yes We Can time, you know what kind of Pratt we had? We had a fat Pratt.
Fat Pratt.
It's true.
That's what
That's
we
true.
need to get back. Biden,
Fuck.
your Build Back Better program better have a fat Pratt. in it.
I'm into this. I
Build
think
back
that
Pratt. Build
fat
back
Pratt-
Pratt. Build back Pratt. Build
Or
back
just
Pratt.
people like just screaming at me. Is that like a buffet? Like I'm doing it for America.
There's gonna be people that
yeah,
are like,
Pratt.
is this some kind of like next iteration of the like Let's Go Brandon meme? What is this? Like, is this? I
No,
think-
we're just feeding
Are they-
Chris Pratt,
yeah,
and
are
it's
they-
going to unite us. This is not. Let's Go Brandon was divisive. This is the next. This is a uniting force.
it's true.
Well, we
This is
have
like
to
the
do
Pratt.
Olympics.
I can't think of a single person that dislikes Pratt. It's all good.
You know, I think the worst thing that's ever happened to Chris Pratt, like popularity wise, was getting cast as Mario, and that wasn't even his fault. They just asked him, "Do you want to be Mario?" And he was like, "Fuck it, why not?" I like
He
$100
likes to
million.
hunt, I guess, and people don't like.
He
him
is-
for
He
he's-
that.
does like to hunt,
pretty
and there was like
Christian.
a video of him like
Yeah.
skinning a deer or something, and people really didn't like that.
Yeah, but then a lot of other people are like, "Oh, that's cool as fuck," you know, like
people like
Normal
what he posted
people.
is like I felt really bad, but then I got down. And, I decided to go to church, and I really got into it. And I prayed, and I feel better. I took a walk, and people are like, "He's Christian," so
oh,
he's
yeah.
a little decisive, but he doesn't like bring that shit with him, to his work. So I think a fat Pratt is still
He
there.
seems like he
A
makes
fat
pretty
Pratt-
good decisions, you know.
People,
Wait, what about
Parks
like a
and Rec-
fat Pratt is just like more likable, but like what
yeah,
if we
Fat
like
Pratt's
broke down
perfect because
barriers?
he was already
Saw
in Parks
something
and
fat that we've
Recreations.
never seen fat before. What if we just go like, break
haven't
out
seen
somebody
Sure.
to use, like let's get a fat Bruce Willis, or like let's
He's
go back
too
into the
old.
fucking vault and get a fat Harrison Ford,
Too
or
old.
we could
too
like
old.
really
Kill him.
change some shit and get like a fat The Rock.
If we got a fat Harrison Ford,
Oh.
that'd be very sad right now.
Who's
A
the
fat
guy
Rock.
Who's the guy in what's that one show where they just drink a
That'd
lot?
be funny. That'd be
Workaholics.
funny.
Who's the
Problem.
workaholics guy with the fat nose?
Oh,
Uh,
Adam Devine.
The
He
small
needs-
one,
what
right?
if
The
he did-
small.
Yeah, I guess
one.
he's kind of small though.
He's pretty. Wait. Okay, so we need a tall fat guy, right?
It's
So I think it
true.
should just be The Rock. Let's just get The Rock chunky.
But he's not funny.
We need somebody.
He's funny,
with
but he's more funny
He's not.
in a charismatic way.
He's not funny in a Fat Rock. No, I don't think a Fat Rock would work. Plus, he's Samoan, so he's like, he would just get like big fat. Like he would just still be strong and scary looking.
I don't think I'd want to see a Fat Rock. I think it's something I wouldn't want to see, honestly.
Can you picture though The Rock like just deciding consciously to get fat, and he just like has no problem with it, like, and he's just proud and just like walking around, and he just like starts like wearing like fucking poorly fitting t-shirts.
He just starts developing a gigantic fucking gunt because he's specifically just drinking beer to gain weight. Like he's just looking pregnant.
Yeah, he's got a giant fucking beer gut. He's the same. He's the same Patriot we know and love, but he's got a giant fucking gut, big old beer, and a Budweiser sponsor.
And he's just like, I just wanted the gunt. I just think gunts are sexy.
Yeah, and people like
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's how you fix America now. But
I still don't.
I think it's too much to ask of us to try to fix the entirety of America right now. Just try to fix Don't Look Up. So I've been told that you guys may have some ways of like pivoting this property.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, burn the film.
Yeah, Cats, what do you got?
Take the negatives.
Kill Adam McKay in Minecraft.
Kill Adam McKay's whole family.
Instead of 2 hours, I'm going for 5 minutes where I just pull Adam McKay up on a stage and I beat him to death with a bat.
It's true. No,
is that your idea too, Cats?
It's literally true. No, my idea was, I don't know. I didn't really like go over my writings too much to familiarize myself, so I'll just read it. I said, scientists don't discover it. Instead, schizo posters on 4chan spread it after a disgraced professor discovers the comet and is suicided. The comet scare is deemed a white supremacist myth at first, aimed at destabilizing the government for a race war. But then when it starts to get validated, it becomes about how the comet will disproportionately impact minority communities. It becomes dubbed the KKK comet, comet. And so teams of ethnically diverse and corporate HR-friendly scientists are hired to combat the comet. But this fails when China one-ups us and sends a massive missile after the comet first, only to find that the comet is actually a gigantic cluster of space aids. Then the world becomes wrapped up in the debate over whether or not it's homophobic to not let this comet hit the Earth.
Magic Johnson's the only like, no, I don't want it here.
So I
thought it just in keeping with my last
space
idea.
AIDS, I would say you should replace the space AIDS with just straight up space gay, and the way that they ensure that it's real is Xi Jinping is actually the guy flying the rocket ship that takes out the comet, and he comes back and immediately starts banging dudes. So they're like, okay, wow, this has like pure space gay.
Oh, it just makes you gay, and then I like that. Yeah, so like China it brings back gay scientists to China, and then there's the spread. It's like they try to contain it. They try to contain it because China's probably not. I don't think they like the gay people.
No, they don't. They don't like that at all. But if Xi Jinping comes back with it, he's not like
going to
2
go
inches
up,
from God to them.
He's not going to go up in. Why was he going up in the missile? The missile was supposed to blow it all up.
Okay, well, what if China doesn't take it out? What if it's what if it's underdog story North Korea snipes this whole thing? Like, they're like, we got these nukes, we're going to take it out.
Yeah.
And Kim Jong-un personally goes up there, takes it out, and comes back gay.
North Korea snipes it. They're the only ones that have like a big chunk of space AIDS after they like deflect it away.
What about Justin Trudeau? What if Justin Trudeau?
Sure, but like no one would notice.
That would be a pretty good joke.
When he left.
He's like, no, guys, I'm telling
Justin
you,
Trudeau.
I wasn't gay before, and all of a sudden now I'm gay, and everyone's like, oh, Justin, whatever.
Okay, well maybe we should just walk this back fully to a certain extent, and just like remove the meteor element entirely, and just there is a cloud of space gay that's coming, and We need to decide. And people
Yeah.
say it's homophobic to not, as you were saying, people say it's homophobic to not accept the space gay. But other people are like, we got to dissipate the space gay or else it's going to wipe out all life because no one's going to want to bang opposites anymore. It's all going to be samesies.
And then masks actually become homophobic because that means you don't want the space gay.
It means you don't want the space gay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. You want to ruminate on any of those angles? And
the only thing I think I need to ruminate on is a better title than "Don't Look Up" because it should be like "Don't Take It Up."
Don't bend over.
Yeah, I'll think about that. Yeah, no.
Well, okay, sure. Well, and the other thing I'd like you to think about too is 4chan discovers it and it starts out as an alt-right thing, but then it becomes co-opted by the gays. I want like that. Yeah, and by the libs and such. So I'd like to understand like how that happens, what that says about the 4chaners and crazy alt-righters and what it says about the libs.
Mostly I was trying to make it was kind of my COVID analogy just because I remember when the COVID stuff first started and it was generally like crazy people online saying that it was going to be a big deal and the media was saying like, hey, you don't need a mask. You know, like it was a
just go to Chinatown, you racist.
Yeah, no, the COVID stuff flip-flopped. Like, I don't know. It's funny to think about the first like 3 months of COVID.
Oh, it's really weird looking back on it.
It was totally flip-flop. So that was kind of the angle, but now it's like kind of, I don't know. Yeah. It needs to be worked on. So I see you.
Okay. So you can ruminate on that a bit. Brant, you mentioned earlier that you might have some other potential direction to drive this steamship.
Yeah. So our first thing is we're gonna give Joe Hill on the phone and we're gonna see what he's probably doing over the summer.
You want to get him on the phone right now? You want to get him on the phone?
No. Well, we will. I have some other people to call up because the idea is while he's talking to us about his summer plans, someone's gonna break into his house and execute him to the back of the head. We're gonna make it look like a suicide. And then I think we
part of the movie. This is all pre-production, right?
Yeah, this is all pre. This is all before we even really get out of the office. But after that, I think we can move into it. And let me just quick read what I wrote here.
Yeah,
oh man, I can't believe Kat just walked away. How rude.
He was gonna love it.
All right. You know what? Yeah, I get it. A meteor just wiping us out because capitalism can't get its shit together is very fitting. But waiting for a meteor leaves for a meteor movie, pounded, flattened, thin, over a long period of time. How about instead the meteor passes by? You know, the Rocket Man does it, the trajectory is changed just between us and the moon. And, you know, that's where it kind of goes. Instead, we're going to cut that down from the 6 months to like maybe 2, or we don't have all that in between time with them, or we just do what Adam McKay wanted and have like some quick cut compilation so we can cut to like the actual story. We shoot up the random guy who's all gung-ho into the sky, and he blows it up, and you know, like it pushes right between us and the moon, and this causes like humongous tidal waves, like great titanic shifts in the ground. You know, the gravity itself. It's a humongous celestial body. Dude, it's a huge celestial body the size of Mount Everest. Do you think it's not going to fuck with the tidal waves? The moon fucks with the tidal waves.
Yeah. It's true.
Sure. I'm not arguing that point.
You just look skeptical. You just look like a fucking skeptical.
The reason I was skeptical is I'm just like wouldn't they like think about like how do we avoid this waves thing before it becomes an issue?
Well, he fucks it up because he's a crazy gung ho dude. Did you see him like at the end where he's just like shooting the gun? He's like,
it's his fault. It was just it was user error.
Right, like he's just like, well, maybe I should shoot it into the world or something like that. We could do whatever, and it goes through and it fucks everything up, and a couple chunks of come down. But what happens is all these tidal waves, like it pulls out the trenches, and Bash was like, oh well, we're gonna go steal up the few chunks of meteor that we can. But everyone else looks down, and they're like, oh, look at all these crazy mineral deposits that are now like more accessible because we can get down to the like the trenches. And it's going to, keep up the whole thing of like the capitalism doesn't care because like the world's now flooding. polar ice caps are full on melting. You know, like the moon's like just spinning off its axis and going crazy. And they're more just like, well, we want resources and we're gonna bunker down and people on the coast can kiss ass and everyone up top can like hopefully live this one out kind of thing. So we're continuing like where they just kind of left off on everyone. Chunks of the meteor.
Wait. So is that wait? So where does the movie start? Because it seems like you're just pitching me like a Dune-esque like premise at this point.
The Asia-Russian alliance instead pools funds and claims they now for the now more accessible resources, the polar regions and ocean trenches. That's a thing that's really happening right now.
What did I miss at the beginning of your pitch? Sorry.
Fuck you.
The
Meanwhile, the moon has been
literally
stabilized. It's pulling up the Earth.
They fuck up.
They fuck it up. They fuck up. So they do. Okay, so the meteor's coming. We cut like, shut the fuck up. They cut like, I want to cut like a solid hour. You know, we're going to go to like a month before the meteor hits. They fly it up. They blow it up. None of that fucking guff in the middle. They fuck it up somehow because he's a crazy dude. I don't know why they picked the crazy dude to fly the rocket. It goes between us and the moon, right? This huge celestial body causes the moon to get all weird. The tidal waves to pull out. Huge tectonic tremors. It still fucks the Earth super hard, right?
Yeah.
And no one wants to deal with it. Instead, they're like, "Ooh, look at all these resources we get instead." So they're digging into there. Everyone's left by themselves. But then, you know, like we all look up, and that's where it is. Like, you know, don't look up because like the moon's like actually destabilizing and it's spinning out of control, like just coming into the Earth. And then we're just like, oh. And then from there, I was because like my
and then we're like, fuck, our horoscopes are all fucked up now. Like everyone's gonna be like off their like rocker as far as like.
If Adam McKay wanted to do a whole like nothing matters, like let's make it so nothing matters.
Yeah, wait, yeah. Somebody like wakes up the next morning, they're like looking at the moon, and they're like, okay, I'm a Virgo, but like the moon's already rotated like, you know, 30 times its original axis.
Oh, I was thinking like a full moon, like coming into Earth, coming into contact with the Earth instead, kind of thing, or something like that.
I'm just asking, like, how are you going to read your horoscope when that happens?
I know, right? You're going to be so fucked.
So fucked, yeah.
The only other thing that I really wanted to do, because I just wanted to get the thing done quicker, and I think Adam McKay should have just got to the point of like, well, if nihilism's real, then nothing does matter. And if we like, you know, won, then it still probably would have fucked shit up. Like, I don't know why you need 2.5 hours. But the only other thing I would have done would be, like, more of a Cthulhu thing. Like, people are drilling into Earth, and, like, it cracks open, and then we just get, like, the crazy tentacle launchers and H.E. Geiger shit happening instead.
There's no... See, the issue I have here, Brant, is there's no, like, actual plot you're giving me here. There's no story you're giving me. You're just giving me a bunch of Dune shit. You're giving me a planet, the year 2039...
Because you watched Dune recently,
changed the entire way we lived on Earth. You're giving me the crawl before Blade Runner.
I feel like Dune's like Dwayne's first actual sci-fi book that isn't Star Wars related.
It's like hard sci-fi, is what I'm saying.
Like
or like fucking Warhammer
it's
or something.
It's
like
sci-fi
you're just giving
fantasy.
me like some fucking resource wars shit. It has nothing to do with Don't Look Up. We're just like all the shit you're telling me that's in any way novel on the idea is just the shit that happens after the fucking meteorite hits, which at that point it could be any post-apocalyptic movie.
Dune's not hard science, not hard sci-fi, by the way. There's fucking space magic in there, you gunt. It's sci-fi fantasy, if anything. They do fucking space drugs to like travel across the world and like talk to each other.
Well, I don't know why.
There's the crystalline blades that only one person can hold. And the only way you can get is if you kill that person and it transfers to you. Hard in the world, but instead it's just like, but what if capitalism was like, you know, more at fault? What do you want me to do with it?
Yeah, well, you just took out the capitalism and said, what if it was every other
I made it for capitalism. It's even more capitalism there. There, Adam.
Yeah, but it's
there's all the capitalism you can want.
Then it becomes
Dune. A piece
See, that's a reasonable comparison to Dune.
Nothing matters. We're all going to die anyway. Are you happy? There. You want a different idea? The same shit happens.
Are you saying? Okay? Are you proposing like an authentically nihilistic like blockbuster, basically? Like just make it.
Yeah,
like,
full on. If you save the world, it's still going to end. Who cares? I don't care if you cut to 2 billion years in the future. The sun's still going to explode and take us out. Go full nihilist if you're going to do it. Pussy shit.
So now, all right. See, the movie Don't Look Up. Like the hard elements to Just though was not about space. You know. Like that wasn't the thing.
fine, we'll do the Cthulhu thing. They drill into the crust of the earth, or the meteor passes by and it's actually like a celestial body. It's like a real living thing, and it just fucking clamps onto us. And then there's like crazy H.R. Geiger, people with tentacle faces and fish monsters start showing up. And then we'll have like the same people. We'll have Jennifer Lawrence, Leonardo DiCaprio, we'll have the presidents, and they'll just be like hunker down as a zombie situation. And we'll get real in-depth character development as they tell us what led them to this situation. And we'll make it 3 hours long. Ooh, is that even better?
Maybe I just wasn't properly explaining what my issues were with your idea, but I don't think you've alleviated them.
I don't like the movie. I don't want to remake
you don't,
it.
You don't have to like the movie, so that is acceptable. Cats, did you have any other additional adjustments on your idea as per our discussion earlier?
Yeah, it should be like called "Don't Lick It Up."
Okay, I think Cats wins.
That's what I would say.
It was a good podcast. It was good conclusions achieved.
Yeah, I mean, I made some pretty. I did make a lot of notes for this movie, so I tried.
Do you want to go over any of them?
No.
No.
Most of it just consists of like Reddit. This movie is Reddit. I said that like 4 times, I think.
Just pointing out that it's Reddit.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
There was a lot of
Redditine,
Redditular.
Redditor-esque.
Redditesque.
Yeah. Do you guys want to know what I'm choosing for next week?
Wait, is it your turn next week? Yeah, I guess it is.
Should be, right?
Blood Monkey was last week.
So I am choosing a short film. It's only 21 minutes long. And it's called Alfred's Playhouse.
It's on YouTube?
Yes. In 3 parts.
Alfred's Playhouse.
And you'll think that 21 minutes, that's short, but soon it will feel long.
It's a slog of a 21-minuter.
I don't know. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit. It's it's a YouTube, kind of a more YouTube animation kind of thing. So but I think
I'm glad you didn't pick American History X for your Black History Month episode.
Oh, we were supposed to do
It's true. Yeah. Well,
but I'm down.
I think this is fine. This is also a fun one to talk about because
I've watched Alfred. Yeah, it took me a second. I was like, that
sounds
watch it
familiar. Again. You get to watch it again.
This is some OG Newgrounds weird stuff. Cool.
Yeah. So that's it. We don't want to talk about it too much because there's fun stuff to talk about it on the podcast.
A lot of.
All right,
good stuff. It's a lot of good stuff. That's all we need to know. I mean, it's like, it is OG YouTube stuff. Might as well bring that on the podcast.
Might as well. It's a good adjustment.
Brant already soured things with Blood Monkey. We dipped like pretty low, and I figured
we've been sour for a while. We watched 2 separate Thanksgivings. One of which
Thanksgiving
was good.
2 was a gem, so that made up. It balanced things out.
3.
Alfred's not a gem though. This is.
I disagree.
This is just drinking vinegar This is drinking piss after vinegar, actually.
No.
See, the 2 pair pretty well, according to the Sommelier Blanc.
According to my fucking bladder.
Magazine. Periodical. Okay, I think we can probably call that there, unless anybody else has any hard opinions to drop.
Well,
Stop picking fucking 2-hour-long movies.
Yeah. I thought
I'll be nicer for the next one. Requests to be heard.
Yeah, and stop picking gay ass movies. How about that too?
I can pick something different. I was just trying to because Brandel picks some fucking monkey shit. So I'm just I just need something at least controversial.
I don't have a monkey. I don't have a monkey planned for the next one. I have.
Yeah, but whatever you got planned right now, there's a very good chance it'll adjust 2 seconds before you say it.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, because I have nothing planned.
What do you guys think about current event? Wait, what was the current event I was gonna say? Those trucks. What do you guys think
those
about
trucks?
Those trucks?
Canada. It's funny. Cool. Good on them.
I don't care about trucks, dude.
Yeah, if people are like pissed off that they can't sleep, it's like, it's very easy to just buy like earplugs. They work super well.
I did like the cat shit, the cat shit thing about like people.
Oh, Mr. Metacore stuff.
Yeah, I watched his stream the other day, and it was I hadn't heard about that, but it was pretty funny.
What was it? What was the thing?
Oh,
it
you
was
wouldn't
about,
get
like,
it.
Canadians getting like their cats were shitting all over their apartments because they're like stress shitting from all the trucks honking, basically.
Beer poopins.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with vaccine mandates and trucks?
Because all the trucks are going in the cities and honking.
Yeah, you don't know about like all the people in Ottawa is pissed off. Yeah, because it's been 5 days, 6 days of nonstop honking.
Are they still honking?
Are they still honking?
Yeah, they're not going to end.
Usually after like 3 days of a protest, some government comes in and quashes it, and then they start telling you, this is a celebrity you need to be mad at.
They can't arrest them because they're a vital part of the supply chain, and they can't kill them because they're a vital part of the supply chain. And they're finding this hard part where they have to kind of give in to their demands because they're a vital part of the supply chain. So
if you're in any way involved in the supply chain, you should probably start leveraging.
Yeah, why not? That's what people did over in the coast of out of California with like the ship dock and stuff. Like those COVID mandates. That's what happened for us in the U.S., but you didn't hear about it because our media was like, "Well, we don't want to make Biden look bad." But when he first put out the idea for COVID mandates, a lot of the dock workers over in like our international shipping ports were like, "I suck dick. We're not going to land." And they just floated out there for like a couple of weeks.
Start stocking up on your salted porks and your vitamins.
Learn how to garden, get some seeds.
Are vitamins going up?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, you should just have them.
Yeah,
you should have like a stockpile.
Or, first aid stuff, all that stuff.
Ammunition, gunpowder, fertilizer.
Just stay careful, folks.